Yo, what up? It's your boy coming at you once again. Yeah, I got a chance to check out House of Wolves. I put Warframe down for a little bit, jumped back on Destiny. I paid for the expansion packs before the game even came out, with the Digital Guardian version that I purchased. So, you know, I figure why not at least take a look at what House of Wolves has to offer. And so far, I'll be quite honest with you, I am not very impressed whatsoever. Um, but I will continue playing. After all, like I say, I paid for this. And, you know, I feel like I do have, I've earned the right, basically, to voice my opinion on this game because I did level all my characters up. I didn't do like some players did and just use the 3 slots to level up the same type of character. Um, you know, and I guess in a way kind of boost that one character. I didn't ever see the point of doing that because you didn't get to see doing that. You didn't get to see what it was like to play as the other uh, classes. So, but nonetheless, I feel like it's your game. You paid for it. You can do whatever you want, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else. But I did go ahead and level up Warlock, Hunter, and Titan, and was one of the first people I knew that did it. Um, out of the friends that I was playing with at the time. Um, and it was a lot of work, so, I feel like I know what this game has to offer as far as its pros and cons, and I know it well, because long before I got to the point where I had all 3 characters leveled up to 32, all the raids, all the repeating of the missions, the grinding, the boredom, it all added up to a point where I felt like, I was ready to get off this game and take a break long before I finished what I had set out to do. Um, because I felt like Bungie was dropping the ball, and for whatever reasons, I have no idea, the amount of work that goes into making a game like this. I always said that from the beginning, even when people were voicing all the negativity surrounding the lack of story, and whatever else legitimate claims that they had that where this game was falling short. I heard them, but yet and still at the time I felt like it was still probably one of the best games to come out for PS4 or Xbox One. And even now, I guess, it is, probably one of the better games out, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't have a lot of room for improvement. Even now with what you're seeing from how, so far I played 1 mission. I've been to the social hub or whatever it is, the outpost for in the reef, and they're not wowing me enough to want to play this game, and I think that might be a lot of people's assessment. There's just not enough here to make a person just really want to be on this game, and the type of experience that would draw more people to it. I'm not seeing it. This stage right here, this first mission on the reef, you would have thought that perhaps, and maybe this is just me, but you would have thought perhaps that it would occur to them that we didn't want to be on the exact same map. Only difference is coming in from a different direction. And when I realized that it was, where I was in this footage here, like before I came up this hill, and I was down the side of that mountain, it just dawned on me, this is the exact same map that you play in that one strike um, on Venus. The exact same map, except you're coming in from reverse, from a different direction. You know, and that's to me that these are the type of things that you have to imagine from a player standpoint. I mean, this is me speaking to Bungie. You have to imagine from a player standpoint how disappointing that is. That you get. I haven't played this game in months. The last thing I remember really seriously doing was the raid for Dark Below, um, the Crota raid. Did that a lot. At that point I was really burnt out on this game, but you know, um, like I say, I was trying to get my characters all up to 32, and grab as much as I could out of the raid, and just you know, uh, do all those sort of things. But I was burnt out by the time that whole things came out, the Crota raid and the DLC. So I mean, this is a fairly decent game, but there's certain things that to me are just fundamental. If Bungie expects people to be excited and impressed and want to play this game, and for there to be a future in this game, because right now I'm not even sure if there is one. um, you have to address certain things. I mean, you guys are creative, but at the same time, how do you drop the ball in terms of uh, making new vistas, new places? We don't want to be on the exact same terrain, the exact same buildings. The only difference is the lighting has changed, and you guys altered the appearance of enemies slightly. There's a new weapon down on the ground right there. I didn't realize until I fended off most of these enemies right here that's what that was. And the lady that's talking to you, guiding you through the mission, mentioned it. But so far, I'm not seeing what is the difference between House of Wolves and what I've actually played up until now, countless times over and over. When you play missions uh, in the hundreds of times, I'm seriously, some of these missions I've played, I know almost 100 times each. So when you play missions that much, you have to understand that it gets old. And you've seen everything. You have eyeballed every single detail. These vistas and these crevices, like the back of your hand. And then when you get on, an so-called expansion pack, you would expect, well, one would expect that you're about to see something totally new, completely new. You don't want to see anything from what you've done before. That's why you call it an expansion pack. It's not. An expansion pack is not putting a player in the same areas and just, this is the type of thing, what this is right here is the type of thing that I was thinking that Bungie should have been doing leading up to actual expansion packs, keeping this game fresh. This right here, they could have been doing this while we were waiting for the House of Wolves and Dark Below. Changing up the missions, had a separate team just set to doing stuff like this, because I'm not adding new enemies here and there, new weapons here and there, changing up the mission so you don't come from the exact same starting points. I mean, this is not an expansion pack. I don't know what you would call this. To me, like I said, if you call it anything, what you call it is keeping the game fresh while you're getting an expansion pack together. But, you know, and then, you know, the temple elders or whatever it is, you know, I just know, I hadn't even been following. You have to forgive my ignorance because I've been so not into this game that I haven't even bothered to read a single thing about it or watch a single video about the House of Wolves. I just kind of have a tiny bit of information regarding this, but that just shows you, to me that would just imply a player like me that spent so much time on this game wasn't like most people who wrote it off and bitched and whined about everything. We just went all in on this game and basically on the, you know, the premise that I have faith in what Bungie's trying to do. No, it's not perfect. Yes, I think there's a lot of room for improvement, but I think they will eventually get it there. You know, this was the way I was defending this game. You know, but now I'm really at a loss for words for the most part in terms of how to describe how disappointed I am with what Bungie has done thus far with this game. You know, I think that there could be something here that would draw people back to it, but I'm not sure that Bungie to me, they always had an air of arrogance surrounding them. Even from the Halo days, there's just this bit of arrogance. They're really community oriented, but they have their way of seeing things and their outlook on their games that, to me, a lot of times is impenetrable in terms of how the public perceives it, how the players perceive it, and what they may need to do to improve it or to change it. You know, they say they do, they always, but I think at the end of the day, you know, they still have their way of seeing things, and it doesn't really matter how much feedback they get, you know, how much they listen to people. It takes more than just hearing feedback and thinking you're acting on it. Sometimes I think you have to go a step further and completely reevaluate everything, you know, because you guys are making type of decisions that are just out of character with where gaming has come over the years, and you could learn a lot from certain developers. They may not have a prettier game as you do, but they have a more fun game than you do. A good deal of developers that are out there right now. What I've been playing lately is Warframe, and the reason why I went back to it is because you know, I realized after playing it one day, after I got so burnt out on Destiny, I said, let me try this, you know, and what I saw was a game that had progressed and changed and evolved. You know, I played it when I first got my PS4, and you know, that's what you want to see with a game like this. You know, check out Digital Extreme's way of communicating with the public. They have dev streams every week. They give away stuff, you know. But like I say, their game, from the time I first played it when it first came out, and I spent all my time on Destiny, I come back and I find this game is a game that has evolved. And I think really the bottom line is Destiny is not evolving. They're just superficially imposing crap on it. But that's my rant. You guys take it easy. I'm out. If you're playing this, have fun.